This is Matt for Into Boxing. I'm delighted to be joined by the blonde bomber, Ebanie Bridges. Ebanie, it's been a while. Have you had a good Christmas, good New Year?
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, Christmas and New Year's good, back home with the family and stuff. So it's been nice. But yeah, it's it warm. Actually, I had COVID over Christmas. So yeah. Anyways, everyone here in Australia's got COVID. So it was a COVID Christmas for everyone.
Quite strict in Australia, aren't they still with what you can and can't do over there? Are you what's it like in comparison to like when you were in England?
Yeah, I mean, very strict because you got to show your passport everywhere and you got to prove that you're vaccinated to go in anywhere and go into the shops, go into a cafe, go into anywhere. You got to show your vax. I mean, when you get tested, like it's all isolation stuff. Yeah, it's pretty full on. Like, yeah, and you got to wait. Like, I got my test and I was like 6 days. I waited 6 days to get my results, and like I wasn't going to self isolate for 6 days. They don't tell you to self isolate, like. But yeah, anyway, is what it is. I was fine. I was training, everything. I didn't even know I had COVID, to be honest. I just had to get the test because of the flying, but I didn't have signs. It wasn't like, oh, I'm sick, I better go get COVID tested. It was just like, I've got to get my day 7 test.
Yeah. It's fucking strange crack at the minute with COVID. It's really weird.
Anyways, fuck COVID.
Yeah, fuck it. Last time less than a minute, and I think you've sworn less than a minute.
Oh, oops.
No, you carry on, it's good. Last time I saw you was in Leeds in person, and your knuckle was basically at the other side of your hand. So what I want to ask you is, how is that? And now are you completely sort of injury free? Because I know you don't like to slow down. How is yourself? And are you okay? You're not injured? What's going on?
Yeah, look, I would definitely say that my hand is not 100%, and I don't know how long it will take to be 100%, to be honest. And yeah, I don't like to slow down, and I'm not willing to wait for it to be 100% because I don't know, it could take another 2 months, 3 months without pain or whatever. My injury, it says that like it says it can take up to 6 months, it can take up to 2 years to be fully healed. Like, it's such a shitty injury. And yeah, I'm not gonna wait around. Like, I already had 4 months without punching with it almost, and it's like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to take. Like, so all I'm doing now is I'm just managing it, and I'm managing the pain. So when I'm training in big gloves. I'm wearing 16s. I'm taping my hand. I'm wrapping my hand. I'm putting sponge. Yeah. I do all the pad work, all the bag work in 16s. When before I was like 8 hours, it was 8 ounce. So I used to like to train in 8 ounce. I can't hit with 8 ounce at the moment. Hopefully, I will be able to eventually. And then after my training sessions, I'm icing. So I take ice to the gym, and then straight after my session, when I get in the car, I put the ice in a thing on it so my hand gets iced straight away. I don't know if you can tell in the video because I can't really see because I need glasses, but like you can see I've got like it looks like
you've got
knuckles.
You've got like
it looks like when I look at it from here, like it looks like I've got another set of knuckles, like 2 more knuckles here. It's so weird, but unfortunately I can't say that it is 100%, but I'm just staying positive and I'm just working with what I can because I don't want to stop and I don't want to just not use it. So I'm just trying to be smart as I can with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's difficult, isn't it? Because you've got a really big year potentially coming up in terms of like your goals and stuff like that, and things you could achieve, such as potentially world titles and stuff like that. Yeah. Now, you've seen Eddie Hearn's released Matchroom's sort of 2022 schedule. Sorry. Josh Warrington's just been announced. My thinking was, I wondered, would you be on that card? Are you coming over? Can you tell us anything?
Fingers crossed. That is, of course, I want to be on that card. I'm pushing for it. We're in talks. I know Eddie wants to be on that card. So, yeah, just hopefully we can get everything signed and done and sorted with an opponent. And then I'll be on that card. So, I mean, yeah, that's my dream. I'd love to be it. I think Leeds Arena is going to be fucking epic. And just to come back to Leeds and fight in Leeds again. And hopefully have more notice than 6 days to tell my fans and people that I'm fighting. It would be mad to have like a proper build up to that fight. It would be mad. So yeah, fingers crossed. I'm praying. I'm hoping. I'm hanging tight. And yeah, that would be ideal. Definitely ideal.
Has he spoke to you about sort of type of opponents, because your dream and your goal will be to tick off becoming world champion.
Yes.
You've also got that carrot of the Courtney rematch, because it's a big fight. Regardless of belts, that's still going to be a good fight. Like,
of course, yeah.
So has he spoke to you about what's next? Is it a stepping stone before a big fight, or is it a big fight?
It should be a big fight. I don't want to have a stepping. I don't want to have fucking another stepping stone. I'm fucking 35, man. I don't want to fuck around. Like, I'm hurting myself. If I'm going to hurt myself in a fight, I want it to be a title fight. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want to go out and have another stepping stone fight, another fuck around fight, and then hurt myself. And then that's going to delay the world title again. Not saying I'm going to get hurt, but it seems to be a fucking bit of a thing. You know what I mean? So I just, I just want to, yeah, like I do want it to be a title fight. You know, I'm not, as I said over and over, I'm not here to fuck spiders. You know, I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to stuff around, and I want to take the challenges. You know, and for me, of course, winning is important. It is important, but I'm not going to shy away from a challenge because I might not win, or I might, you know what I mean, or whatever it may be. Because for me, it's more important for me to have these mad fights, to push myself and you know, give it a crack. You know, and hopefully I win. If not, it's going to be a fucking mad fight, because you know, all my fights are entertaining. You know, win or lose, I know it will be, and that's what I ideally obviously care about. Because I am not 20 and 25 to be stuffing around, building career waiting. You know what I mean? And I don't want to like dodge or say nah. Like, I don't want to fight that person. Like, I don't care. I just want to fight and have good fights. You know, and God willing, my training and my mindset and everything, my body, and can get me the win. You know what I mean? And I'll be a world champion, and that's the goal. You know, obviously. But, you know, beyond just being a world champion, I want to have good fights. I want to give women's boxing good fights, you know, and yeah.
I think your sort of, obviously, you know as well, your breakthrough moment was the Courtney fight, because so before that, people, I mean, I'd seen obviously bits of you on YouTube, your highlights. There wasn't massive amounts of footage of you. So obviously when you were promoting yourself, and I know there was that back and forth in the build-up with her, but when you were promoting yourself, everyone was obviously pretty much praying, thinking, you know what, she's sold a good fight. Let's hope she can actually fight. So obviously, everyone knows now you won't be in a boring fight. So that's
exactly. But, and all my fights are exciting. Like, you know, like the Beck fight was exciting, the Gangloff fight was exciting. You know, they're all full of action. You know, and you can't deny me of that. You know, and you're gonna want to tune in. You know, so, and that's what I want. I want people to go, Ebanie's fighting. I want to watch. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want, you know, because of that pure entertainment.
Also, as well, if it's in Leeds, now the last one was at Headless Stadium, so bigger arena than First Direct. Now, I've been to the First Direct arena. It'll be very loud, very raucous atmosphere. It'll be, you know, especially with you're like an adopted Brit almost now, where you got one of the biggest receptions on the night, apart from obviously Josh, who's Leeds born.
Oh, at Headingley.
Yeah, so that must be a right buzz for you knowing you're coming back, and it's going to feel like home.
Well, exactly. Well, you know, my fight with Josh, my fight on that card was only announced 6 days before I fought. You know what I mean? So not many people actually knew that I was fighting. I mean, like publicly, you know. So for me, and I was the first one on the card. So for me to walk out first on the zone card at 7 o'clock and have that kind of reception and have that many fans with that much notice. Probably only like, you know, the locals and stuff. Like, imagine if you give me like, you know, 6 weeks or 8 weeks, or give my fans that much time to prepare to come from around the country. You know, I've done meet and greets around the whole country. I know how many people want to support me. You know what I mean? And if you give them the time, they'll come and they'll book and they'll be there and they'll be even louder. And like you said, in the Leeds Arena, I've heard so many stories about Leeds Arena, about how loud it is in there. And, you know, and obviously, God willing, it's a title fight, and that's, you know, you got to put me up higher on the bill, Eddie, mate. You know what I mean? Like, and then get me up there and you know, like, have me up closer to the main event, if not co-main event. You know, like it just makes sense. And then we'd be able to feel the full force of it, and that would be just incredible for me. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even think about it. I got to try and chill, because the kind of stuff's like it's like, when I think about it, like, I get so pumped. It's like, wow, you know what I mean? But you got to stay a bit calm, like, you know. But yeah, it's unreal. I love it.
Yeah, I'm going to say Leeds fans get behind people who obviously, especially rep the city as well. And obviously,
well, I'm an official, a bit of a Leeds citizen now. I've got my little plaque. Did you see my thing from the Lord Mayor of Leeds? Yeah. Got proper recognition, taken around the, the Civic Hall, and got my recognition for being a international ambassador of the city of Leeds.
Yeah, that's mad. That I saw that when you sent me that photo. I was just like, how have you managed to get that? How have you, Australian, come across and managed to get that? That was crazy.
Because I'm Leeds through and through, mate. That's why. Because you know what, I genuinely do love Leeds and everything about it, and the people, the city, the culture, the community. So I would push it, and obviously the football.
Yeah, absolutely. Your meet and greet, you seem to really enjoy that. You were bouncing around. You had plenty of fans everywhere you went.
Yeah.
Loads of pictures taken. Yeah, talk to me about that. And you got a bit of time to train with Mark Tibbs as well. Very good trainer, one of the best trainers in the country.
Yes.
Talk to me about that experience, where it was like coming back to the UK, meeting your fans, and then having that bit of time to
train
as well.
So obviously I came home after Leeds with my hand and everything, and I was here. I had to film the SAS. I had to film that, SAS 2 days wins. I had to film that with my broken hand. So I did that. But when I was finished all that filming, I was kind of home for about 4 weeks. And I'm like, okay, look, you know what? Like, I've got like ants in my pants. Like, I need to get out of here. I want to go back. And I had so many plans, because I'm like, I want to use this time as downtime, to do things that I can't really do when I'm in camp, which is I've been in camp all year. Like, I can't really go and see my fans too much like that when I'm preparing for a fight. And I can't really just go train, like, say, for example, Mark, if I want to do a camp, I'm not going to just go and train with him, start my camp with him. I had not done it much with him before. I wanted to get a solid few weeks in with Mark to make sure that, like, if I need a trainer in the UK, then I want to make sure that it's going to work. Because I don't know if you remember, but my fight after Beck, between Beck and Gangloff, I wasn't allowed back in the US. So I had to stay in the UK, because I couldn't get back. And I had no trainers because my trainers are American. And then, so obviously, lucky I know Enzo. Enzo's a good friend of mine. So he took me under his wing and he looked after me, for those 4 weeks. But, I thought, like, I need to get prepared for this. And I think I'm going to be fighting in the UK a lot more. And I just think that, having a team in the UK is going to be good for me. So I really want to take advantage of being able to train with not kind of the pressure of, I have to get ready for a fight and that kind of part, but just train and just, be amongst it. So that was amazing. Mark's great. And that was the first time I'm starting to hit with my hand again. So we were just like playing it pretty lightly, but it was just more about being there and listening to him talk and his views and how he trains and stuff like that and how we got along, just to, make sure that we gelled all right. Which we did, which was good. And just, if we didn't, then I would have to go, find somewhere else, or whatever. But, it worked out well. And then, with the fans and stuff, I just wanted to give back, because I say it over and over again, like, I wouldn't be here without my fans, and they really are my promoters. They're still my promoters now. They promote me more than Eddie. Like, you know what I mean? They're the ones pushing my name. They're the ones calling for me. They're the ones promoting me. You know what I mean? Still, like, and so I love my fans. So I want to give back to them because there's a genuine appreciation there. And it makes my day knowing that I can give a couple of hours of my day to meet some people, and it actually generally makes their day. You know what I mean? And I love a good chat and a banter. Like, I don't just sit there and go, okay, thanks, bye. It's not like that. And I think my fans know that as well. So that was unreal. Had great big turnouts in Romford and London and Leeds and Manchester. It was good. But yeah, and that was just on really short notice. Like, I had a week notice to like try and organize all that. Like, I was only promoting it for about a week. I think next time when I want to do something like this, I'd have to probably do it properly, because I kind of just wing everything. And I'm like, I have some people that kind of help me out, along the way. But if I actually planned a proper thing, like, I think it would be a mega event. So
yeah, it weren't just like you were in one place either. I kept seeing flashes up on my social media. It's like Romford, Manchester, Leeds. I'm like,
and I went up to like Birmingham, like drove in the snow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You weren't just like, you didn't just like say, oh, I'll go to Leeds because like you definitely get a turnout in Leeds. You're like, Romford, you're moving around, and we're all at very short notice, and like, it must say a lot that people came on obviously short notice.
Of course, yeah. I mean, there was like lines out the door. You know what I mean? Like, I think Romford and Leeds was the biggest. London was pretty good. Manchester was a bit of a a hard one. You know, Manchester maybe don't like me because of Leeds, no, but it was still good in Manchester. Yeah. But I definitely, you know, it was probably the best spots were like, you know, the Romford and Leeds, and I think, you know, obviously I would love to see the whole country. You know, I want to go up to Ireland and Scotland and up north. Like I want to do, I would love to, you know, and I will in due time, but I only had 3 weeks and it was just a kind of short spurt, and I had to fit it around obviously the training, you know, because I was still training, and it was actually quite exhausting, you know, because I'm driving around and training and stuff, and it does take it out of you. And I mean, I had someone helping me, and they wanted to book me in for like another 3 events as well, and you know, like it's great money, but I just had to look after my own like well-being as well. I'm like, look, I want to give back, and I do, and it's great, but I need to also look after myself. Otherwise, I can't train. You know, I'm too exhausted. So because there's a lot of energy zapping. Like I enjoy it, but you are drained.
Yeah. Do you feel like the reason that you're so liked is because you're not sort of closed away? You make yourself quite accessible to people. I can imagine you reply to quite a lot of, you know, DMs and stuff like that. And you don't. Every time I've seen, I mean, I saw it in Leeds, people come up from a picture from every angle, like they don't give you breathing. You're like, yeah, no problem. Like everyone will get a picture and stuff, and nobody sort of got the walk through treatment and just ignored. No. Like, you gave yourself, like everyone got like not just see you bye kind of thing. Like
no, of course.
Is that
I like to. Yeah, I mean, look, I love people, and it doesn't take much for me when I can, of course, you know, it doesn't take much for me to give back. And hey, what's your name? Tell me about you. I want to know about you. You know, like, you know, not just like if someone's taking a photo of me, it takes me 2 seconds. Go, hey, what's your name? Are you cool? Where you from? Do you box? Like a little bit of a quick chat while we're taking a photo. You know what I mean? Like, because it's nice to connect with people, and I really do enjoy it. You know, it's not a drag for me. But yeah, I mean, obviously Leeds is, you know, I love Leeds. I couldn't go anywhere in the Leeds without like kind of getting stopped and getting recognised. But you know, it's nice, and everything. It's good. Everyone comes up and like, oh, sorry, do you mind if I photo? I'm like, of course, man. Like the fans, like they don't have nothing to be sorry about, because it's them, man. Like without fans, boxing's nothing. Without fans, we don't get paid. Without fans, you know, we're nothing. I'm nothing. You know, to a degree, you know, and yeah, like even at the fights, when I was at the fights in, was it Liverpool? Yeah. Obviously I had to get a little bit of security in the fights, just because it does. I'll take one photo and then it's just like, you know what I mean? Like it's like everyone, and now I can't say no, you know what I mean? So sometimes I am like, yeah, okay, like I need the security to kind of help me get me along a little bit, you know. But when people come up and ask me for a photo, and I'm just like, you're like, can I get it for sorry to just do me? I'm like, no, I'm cool, man. Like I'm not training at the moment. Like I'm not like working. I'm not busy. So yeah, let's get a photo. Do you know what I mean? Because it means a lot to them, you know, and it's small things like that. Like to me, I think I just like to give back, because I just know how much it means. Like, you know, because I'm a boxing fan. I'm a boxing fan since I was little. Like, you know, when I fucking went to Vegas for one of Manny Pacquiao's fights, and I saw Morales and Barrera and Chavez, and like, I mean, all of them, but you know, I'm going off these guys as well. Like, I just remember how I was such a little fan girl, and I was like, I remember I got a photo of Barrera, and after it, all right, I got a photo of him. After, I'm looking at my phone, like I'm in love, like, and like then someone, like I think it was like Ellie Seckback, he's like went to interview me, and he's like, oh, you know, are you enjoying Vegas? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh, I just got a photo with Barrera, and you know, Eric Morales gave me a thumbs up, and like, you know, like I was just pumped as a fan, you know what I mean? And these little things, like, and like I'm a boxer as well, but like, I mean, these guys are like my fucking heroes, you know what I mean? So I just know that feeling, and it doesn't take much, you know. So yeah, and like if I can't, I won't, but generally I always can. It's serious time for me. I'm in the gym, I'm training, you know, and that's, you know, I'm not going to do it while I'm in the gym. But if I'm just out and about and walking, you know, there's absolutely no reason. If I'm at the fights, you know, you're there for the fights. Like, there's absolutely no reason for me not to give back to the fans when they give back to me.
Absolutely. Now, we've spoken about this before, but it seems like your relationship with Instagram is suffering a bit. You put something up, they take it down. But not just that. Like, you're always on Instagram, I've noticed, and social media, you always put out something positive, whether it be once a week or something like that. Something comes up, whether it's a reel, something like that. I imagine you get quite a lot of, you know, the flip side of the coin as well. I know you sort of half mentioned it, like the hate and stuff like that. How do you, as someone who's such a, you know, accessible person, manage to stay, you know, like so positive and so, you know, I don't know, forward thinking all the time? Because what you promote is never anything sort of negative. It's always being you, being real, and sort of pushing, you know, for that uniqueness and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the reason I am so positive and it doesn't get to me, like the hate and the shit like that, is because I am so secure in who I am. And I believe in myself so much. And I know the kind of person I am. And I know I'm a good person. And I have absolutely no bad conscience or guilt, or I don't think that I'm doing anything wrong. I really do believe what I'm doing is full of right. And I think I believe I'm a good person. And I believe that people's hate and people's dislike towards you is their problem, and it's them. And so I can't let someone else's problem affect me. You know, I can't sit there and be like, oh, well, you know, like, oh, they don't like me for whatever the reason, and they're trying to cut me down and drag me down and talk shit about me and spread rumors and lies. I'm just like, these people, they obviously are so sad, like, you know what I mean? Like, and they must have like some serious like issues within themselves, or just to be, imagine walking around being so bitter and so jealous and having so much envy of someone else, one that you might know. That's even worse. You know what I mean? Like a friend or someone, you know, or to someone that you don't even know. And it's consuming you to the point that you're reporting their photos, you're trolling them, you're going out, you're using your time to try and bring someone else down. How sad. Like, you got to feel sorry for these people, because wow, that's their life, is trying to bring other people down or talk negative about people. Like, it's just, you can't fucking feel sorry for them, you know. And it doesn't get to me in a way that like I'm like, it affects me. Sometimes it's annoying. I'm just like, fuck man, like, just get a fucking life. Like, you know, maybe go out and like try and spread positivity or work on yourself, and then maybe you'll actually be somewhere or do something or be someone, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, it's a bit annoying. Like, when they reported my image, I'm like, man, like, really? Like, you're that fucking like jealous or that hate, and that like you're going out of your way to do all that? Like, I don't know. I mean, and I like, it's, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. It fucking helped me, because I got an article in about 20 different countries. Like, I mean, I must have had about 50 freaking articles written about me in that photo and the trolling. Got the newspaper here in Australia, and it's hard to get in the paper here in Australia, like, because, you know, like, I know I'm big overseas, but in Australia, like, I'm getting bigger here in Australia, but it's like still not like to be in the main Telegraph here. Like, that's like, I'm like, mad, yeah, look, that's my ass. Yeah. And that's my photo that wasn't allowed on Instagram, but now it's all over the world in all the mainstream papers. So now I'm mainstream, and this is just putting me mainstream, you know. And I think that's a big difference between me and, I mean, maybe a lot of other female boxers or just boxers in general, is I am always hitting mainstream, you know, like, it's all the mainstream newspapers and papers that are writing about me. And like, they just write just random stuff. Sometimes I think, wow, you're really writing about that, like a tweet that I put out or something. But hey, it's all just putting my name out, you know, and that's just going to help my brand, and people get to know me. So yeah, I mean, the trolls and the stuff, like, it's going to keep backfiring on them, because I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just them, you know. And I hope that message can be to other people that do get affected by hate and trolling. You got to understand that no matter what you do, you're always going to have a hater. You're always going to have someone that doesn't like what you're doing, you know, no matter what you look like. You know, not everyone likes blondes, you know, not everyone likes fake boobs. So of course they're going to attack me, those people that don't like it. If they, you know, if they don't know, they haven't learned, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it. If they're not brought up like that, then they're going to say shit, you know. And you can't please everyone. You can't make everyone happy, no matter how good you are, no matter how skilled you are, no matter how smart you are. So, you know, you just got to understand that, and just, that's why I push that be you, because it doesn't matter who you are. You're going to get judged, and you're going to get hated at some point, possibly, unless you're not known, and then that's okay, you know. But if you're going to be in the eye, you know, and that's what all we want to do, all us boxers, we want to do, we need to be in the public eye, then you're going to cop it.
Yeah. No,
sorry, I went on a fucking love a fucking TED talk, love a lecture.
No. I think it's good to hear it from your from your side of things as well, because obviously we see all positivity, but obviously I assume always there's a flip side, and it'd just be good, because obviously you that's now a message for other people on how you handle it, and how to look at it. So it's always good away from the boxing to get that side of it from someone who is
I mean, look, it's fucking annoying. It's fucking annoying. I've had some trolls on Twitter lately, literally just lying and like making up complete lies. It's like they can't take my boxing career from me, because you can't take my career from me. So then they start picking up my personal life, and you know what I mean? Because I want to try and ruin their personal life. And I'm just like, man, I'm like, just fucking get a life. Like, you know, and it's nothing, it's all bullshit anyway. So it doesn't really bother me, because it's like, it's literally just someone like just literally got nothing, like they're just bored with their life. And, you know, what can you do? You know, you can't do it. You can't control them. Or you just got to ignore it and keep doing you. If I listened to all the people that hating on me and trolling me and telling me I'm just tits and I'm just this a year ago or a year and a half ago in 2020 when I first came on the scene, then I fucking wouldn't be here, because I would have been like, nah, they don't like me, and, you know, I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing because everyone tells me that it's wrong and that, you know, I need to just change and be different and be like everyone else. No, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't have fucking paved a completely new path. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, been moving sort of back to the boxing side of it. Because obviously, no, that's the tangent I wanted to go off anyway. Because I think we can obviously talk to you till you were blue in the face about the boxing, but there is the flip side of it, and how, you know, how sort of life goes with that kind of stuff. And
exactly.
I know you quite openly speak about it, and it's a good message for other people, so we can touch on that. I wanted to talk to you about a mega fight that is coming up, or that should happen, God willing, the stars align, between Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall. Now, I want to put you a bit on the spot there. This is going to be an epic fight. I think it's been called for years. Break that fight down for me. Who do you think has the advantages, and what do you think happens in that fight? You're friends with both.
I am friends with both, and this is one of those fights that the styles are very different. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's a really a 50-50 fight. I really do think Clarissa can win, and I really think that Savannah can win. But I think it would be more like a Savannah with a knockout. You know what I mean? And Clarissa on points. Clarissa is very slick as well. They're both very slick, but I feel like Savannah is very kind of, say awkward, but she does have a bit of an awkward style. You know, it's not your textbook kind of style. She's kind of got these like the way she throws her punches and the angle she punches, throw them and stuff. And she's quite, I think she's hard to read, you know what I mean? But she's strong, and she's proven that she's strong because she knocks people out. And even Clarissa, when she's looking like she's strong and she's sharp and she's accurate, she's still not knocking these people out. So I think that's, and I'm not saying that means that she can't, but if you look at on paper, it doesn't look like she has that knockout power, you know. But man, like Clarissa's, I don't know if it was the last fight. I think it was the last fight. Like, I love the way she boxed. She's like, you know, she was so patient and her timing was beautiful. You know, she was balanced. She just looked sharp. She looked great. She didn't waste any shots, waste any energy, and everything was very accurate. So yeah, I feel like if she plays like that kind of game, it might even be a little bit harder for her, because Savannah's not your typical boxer, like your typical stock boxer. So it might not work as easy for her to just pick her shots off and like she did with Mary Claire or whatever her name was. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's going to be a bit harder. I think she's going to have to rough her up a little bit, but Savannah's just strong, you know. So I honestly can't pick the winner, but that's how I kind of see it going. I see Clarissa.
That makes it a great fight that you can't say one or the other.
Yeah, you know, I do. I see Savannah starting pretty fast. You know, and just trying to pressure and overwhelm Clarissa a little bit. And I think Clarissa will probably just try and get her timing and her distance and stuff like that, try and pick off shots. But I don't know, but it is definitely one of the biggest women's boxing fights that needs to happen, and I'm excited that boxers made it happen in Sky Sports, or making it happen.
Absolutely. Also, shout out to Clarissa, because she made it into the Guinness World Book of Records for holding simultaneously in 2 divisions. So that's without doubt, whatever happens in that fight, that is one of an achievement.
Oh yeah, I mean she's incredible, you know. Clarissa is incredible, you know, and what she stands for, and you know what I love about Clarissa as well, she cops fucking hate too so much, but she's true to herself, you know what I mean? And she doesn't change, and she's still proud, and she's still confident, and she's still shouting out, I'm the GOAT, and she's still, because she believes it. And why should she let all these people that don't know shit and just judging her or hating on her because she's a confident black woman, because that's what it is, you know, that I think that, you know, the people just, she's still just being how she is. And I fucking love that. She didn't let them, she's grown up. Obviously, when she first came on scene, she was only young, very young. And it would have been very hard for her to deal with all that and hate. Like, man, I always think of her, you know, and I go, man, look, the stuff that she's dealt with and at her age and for the person she is and how she's a champion just shows you, doesn't matter how good you are, people are just going to hate you, man. And the better you are, the more they hate you. Like, look at Mayweather, you know? So, yeah, I mean, Savannah's really quiet. She's, you know, she's a silent assassin, but, yeah, she's a great character as well. Like, you know, like I said, I'm friends with both, but.
Yeah, like I said, it's been well renowned that even when she spars the boys, like, she's punches so hard. So I can't wait for that fight. One of the other fights, Taylor and Serrano, looks like it's getting close. Have you got an opinion on that fight? How do you think that'll go?
Yeah, I actually think Serrano's can edge that fight. I just think that Katie's dropping a little bit, and she's not really changing. She hasn't really, I don't feel like she's really improved as much. Don't get me wrong, she has those fast hands, and that's what's really eye-catching about her. It's like no one has hands like that in women's, like her speed of her hands. But again, she doesn't have that power, you know. She really doesn't. And Serrano does. She has power. She's slick. She goes to the body shot. She breaks your body down. Do you know what I mean? She's southpaw, and she can take a punch as well, you know. And I just see possibly Katie jumping in how she does. She jumps in, and I just see Serrano taking a nice step back, pop, you know, like just tagging her, step back tag, like because Katie just jumps in, man, and like she's doing it. It seems like she's doing it more than she used to now. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm surprised that she doesn't have more head clashes. She's kind of falling in with a punch. So her last fight, I found that she was like really kind of falling in with those shots. And if she does that to Serrano's just gonna time her, man. And I think can tag her. You know, I don't know if it's. I mean, obviously Katie has a chin because we've seen her with Pearson and all that. Like, and she can get hit. She can take a shot.
Yeah.
But I just feel like Serrano can get that fight. Yeah. I mean, look, Katie could too with her work rate and letting hands go and doing that, but she's just the same four straight punches, you know, like a little bit of the body it's not much variety, you know. And I feel like Serrano is so experienced and so strong that I think that could be definitely, you know, I don't know if you want to call it an upset, but yeah, it could prove Serrano. And if Serrano wins that can put her up there. Do you know what I mean? I mean, she is a 7-weight champion. I think it's 7. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, we're moving up and down, and some of the belts, you know, they're vacant. And this, you know, we can question a little bit, but she still has gone up and down, and she's, you know, fought some good fighters, and when we watch her fight, she has that style. You know what I mean? Like, it's a beautiful style of boxing that she has, and yeah, I think it could, you know, styles make fights, and I just think that that's going to be a tough style for Katie, and she'll be smart for Katie, you know, with that timing.
Yeah, she's. I think the more people I speak to after Katie's last performance are sort of leaning that way, saying that, you know, Serrano looks like she's probably come into it a bit better form. But either way, I mean, we're not even talking about this as women's boxing anymore. It's just boxing. It's incredible. We talk about all these big fights that can get made. Serrano, Taylor, Shields, Marshall, and there's obviously you coming into this new year now. If you get that world title, and then you can have, you know, huge fight. I mean,
huge fights. Yeah.
You and I'm not going to say Courtney because like you'll have big fights if you got the world title anyway. But like that rematch is still huge.
Yeah,
like,
huge. Oh yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge fight, and obviously it'd be good to have belts with it. I plan on winning a belt. She's gonna have to get her belt back. You know, I mean, if she doesn't have a belt, she doesn't have much to offer me really, except for our rematch, which I do want to have 100%. She didn't want to give me the fucking, you know, she was like, I don't want to fight Ebony, she has nothing to offer me anymore, you know, like, nah, but I honestly do want to fight her because I love to give a fight for the fans, and I know I can beat her, you know what I mean, and I think I did beat her, so I have no problem fighting her again, you know, even with, if she doesn't have a belt, but I don't think I'm going to go get a belt and go, come on, Courtney, let's go. Let's give you another crack at a belt. You know, she can stew on it a little bit or try and get her own belt, and then maybe we can unify or something. Like that would probably be more what I would like to do. But if it came to a point where, you know, towards the end of my career or whatever, and still don't have a belt, then I'm going to go, all right, come on, let's go. You know what I mean? Because it needs to happen. I do want that fight to happen, but I'm not going to give it to her on a fucking platter.
Yeah, it sort of flips that, hasn't it, now? Because I remember when, I think when Fight Camp got announced, I think I spoke to her briefly, and then I spoke to you in Leeds. And I think at the time she was sort of saying like, well, I've sort of done that now. I'm going to be looking and moving on to World titles. Then the whole Jamie Mitchell situation. And, you know, people were always, through the week to me, were like, you know, we don't know much about Jamie Mitchell and blah, blah. And I was like, go watch this girl, man. She looked, I've never seen, like, she's one of the few people where I had a feeling for that fight. She looked so locked in. It was a joke.
Yeah.
And when that happened at the weigh-in,
you knew straight away.
And I just thought, it's not a great sign. But I mean, I've never heard that before from a fighter, that's affected this, that, and the other. I've never heard it. So
I've fought with my period the last 4 fights. It's bullshit. The last 4 fights. It's just harder. It is harder. It's harder. Not gonna lie. It's hard to get the weight off, but you can get it off, and you're a world champion, and you need to get it off because that comes with having the title. It's your requirement. You do what you have to do.
Yeah.
It comes off. Yeah, it's bullshit. Just another excuse to why she couldn't win. You know what I mean? Another excuse to add to her knee and whatever other excuses she wants to come with, you know what I mean? But I said to her, I always said, you know, I got to a point when I was getting sick, obviously get sick of asking about Shannon. I knew that she didn't want to have the rematch. So I said, you know, it's going to come to a point in time when Shannon's going to have to come knocking on my door because she's going to need me. And it's going to come around and she will, you know, and I knew that. That's why I stopped talking about it because I'm just like, she'll need me. And then, you know.
It looks like that rematch with Jamie will happen. I think there was a rematch clause in the contract. So that'll happen. Yeah. You know, she'll then fight, you know, if she wins it, she gets the belt back. But do you know when, for example, like the build up to your fight, did you find it ironic when obviously she was questioning you about why people were tuning into the fight and like professionalism, and, you know, Katie Taylor's paved the way and all that. I mean, did you, I mean, obviously we didn't speak around the time of that fight, so I'm just getting your sort of catch up on it now, but when you sort of heard the news, did you think, well, it's a little bit ironic kind of thing that,
yeah, of course,
you've
of
said,
course, but I knew that before because she was telling me that I didn't have respect for the sport because I wear lingerie. I mean, mate, at least I make weight. She didn't make weight with Rachel Ball. She didn't make weight again. Like, who's the one that's not having respect for the sport and having respect for the champions and for the belt? You know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah, that's why I don't listen to it anyways. Like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Girl doesn't know what she's talking about, unfortunately. Maybe this year she'll learn a little bit more about herself and find herself and find, you know, what it is. Because I think she's a little bit lost. She seemed really lost, you know. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure she's not a bad girl. I think she's just lost.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens this year. She may bounce back, you know, get the world title.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't think she beats. I still don't think she can. She can't beat Jamie again. I don't think, like, if Jamie boxes like that again, I still don't think she'll beat Jamie. But, you know, Jamie has to come out again like that on, you know, just be focused.
Make it a bigger fight for you though, if Shannon manages to get the win.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I don't wish bad on anyone really. Like, it'd be great for her to get the belt, and it would be great for boxing for her to get the belt and us to fight for a unification. But I got to get a belt first too. You know what I mean? So that's the plan.
Yeah. Well, God willing, like March, Eddie manages to put that into place, and then you can roll on, because after that it'll literally just snowball to a big fight.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's the you mentioned a few times, like your age, 35. I think people forget how old you actually are, and
I know.
And it's not old, because like you didn't start your career when you were 20, so you've not.
No, yeah, exactly.
Wear and tear. Don't get me wrong.
I've only been around for 3 years, like coming into my 3rd year.
Yeah. So do you have one thing I want to ask you, because you mentioned your age and I'm not, 20 something.
Yeah.
Do you have like a cut off point where you go, you know what, I love fighting, but I don't want to be going past that point, or I want to, veer off? What do you look at it like that?
To a degree. it's more about what my body can take, you know, like it's always like, can I get, like, am I going to make it through this camp? You know what I mean? My body, like, because I got a lot of wear and tear from body. I did 10 years of bodybuilding as well, you know what I mean? So it's always like, it's going to get to a point where, you know, my body might not be able to make it through a camp. I mean, we're getting there already, but no, you know what I mean? Like, I'm all right in the fights, but it's just that kind of thing. And I, you know, I do want to have kids and I want to have a family. You know, I don't expect to be fighting when I'm 40 and above 40. God, no, you know. You know, so yeah, hopefully another couple of years and good fights and continue to put women's boxing on the map and making good fights and trending and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, breaking into it and shit and having good fun with Wayne's and Eddie. And, yeah.
Yeah, Wayne's and Eddie are always funny. I don't think he knows what to do with himself. It's hilarious.
Yeah, can't wait for the next one.
It'd be a good crack. Just before you go, one thing that I had written down, which I've not asked you, which sort of linked into a question we had earlier about Clarissa. There's a big back and forth between her and Jake Paul, and that's about, you know, fighting, sparring, and whatever. Hypothetically, if them two got in the ring sparring, what happens?
Oh, well, he's a dude, man. Like, he can punch. It's not bullshit. Like, I mean,
but Clarissa,
if he landed on Clarissa, I'm sure he would hurt Clarissa. You know what I mean? But she's slick and she's a better boxer. She might be able. She's pretty good. Like, she's pretty defensive. Like, she's a really good defensive boxer as well. So yeah, you'd have to land it. She'd have to land it. I don't know. I don't think she could hurt him. He's a dude, and she can't knock out girls. So you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a fantasy fight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh?
She seems quite serious when she says, "Look, I'll fight."
Oh yeah, but that's what she's like. She's full of confidence. You got to be like that. She's not gonna go on social media and go, "Yeah, Paul's gonna knock me out." Is she gonna say that? Like, you know, no. I don't know. I like Jake Paul. You know, I always have from the start because I understand, because I'm the same as him. I'm a marketing person and I understand business, and that's the problem with a lot of boxers. They don't get it. You know what I mean? And look at him. He's laughing, and I think he's genuinely, sincerely does want to help boxing and fighters. I think he has a passion for it. I do believe that. I believe he has a real passion for it, and he does want to give back, and he has a lot of money, and he wants to help. And I truly believe that.
In terms of what he's done for one of the best to do it, Serrano tweeted, I think, I put something out a couple of weeks ago and said, "I can now officially say I'm a millionaire. And thank you to, you know, Jake." Yeah. So if he's doing stuff like that, yeah, I get it. I completely get all that stuff. And he's a brilliant businessman. I've got to say, he's incredible.
You gotta remember, he's not like cutting in line and fighting for world titles and shit for people. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's not doing that. It's showbiz, you know, and that's what it is. And he's getting fighters paid. So good on him. And he's bringing eyes on women's boxing. Serrano's been boxing for how long? No one knew who she was really, like, outside of the little tiny women's boxing thing. But now people know who she is. Like, and that's ideally what you want, because that's how you set up your future. You know what I mean? Because after boxing, you need something. And when you have a name and people know you, that's how you make money.
Mm-hmm. What do you envisage doing after boxing then? What do you envisage?
I mean, as my mate, the world's my oyster. I can do whatever, you know, honestly. But I would love to stay in boxing in some. I'd love to do commentating. I'd love to, you know, maybe even manage, you know, female fighters.
Imagine you on commentary, like, getting excited. Like,
I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, it's fucking, look at that shot. Fuck." Shit, sorry guys. No, but I would put my teacher's hat on and I wouldn't swear.
Yeah.
I don't think. But no, you know, as you know, I love breaking down fights and I know my boxing, so I would love to do that kind of stuff. Yeah, you know, I'd love to do as well, like, you know, motivation seminars and just be in the community or travel around and, you know, do talks and inspire people, you know. So that'd be something I'd love to do. And yeah, I mean, anything to do with being able to reach as many people as I can and help people.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there when you mentioned like seminar type stuff. I think you're quite suited to that because you are up and you talk, and it'd be about and stuff like that. So I think
I mean, I haven't even talked about my life or my struggles or what I've been through to be why I am like this, you know, and I'm saving that for post boxing when I have nothing else to talk about. No, like, because I don't think it needs to be talked about now, but it's just something that I can use later to help people, you know what I mean? And yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. I'm looking forward to telling my story. But that will wait.
Yeah, you've always had that in your back pocket. Even the few times I've spoke to you, and I know that there's obviously a big story, and I can imagine, you know, from what you said, but like you never get any of it that comes out. Are you waiting for that moment where you just sit down and just go, either write a book or you go,
yeah,
this is
I would.
I
think I could write. I could write a book, definitely. You know what I mean. And I know what I've been through and what I've done. And where I've came from, and you know, my transformation, and just like my boxing, what I've been through behind the scenes in boxing. People don't fucking know. Just fucking, you know, it's not easy getting where I am. You know what I mean? People think it's easy. It's not. Like, you know, and to be able to tell those stories and the real side of it all, and you know, I think that can be very inspiring for people, and people will realize, you know, and it can help a lot of people. But right now, I'm helping people to a degree, but I'm more focused on my boxing career, and I'm not ready to dig up the past and dig up the fucking skeletons and the shit, you know, all the negative shit and all the painful, traumatic stuff. Bring it up now. I don't need to. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not about inspiring people right now with all that shit. You know what I mean? Right now, it's like, get my boxing, fucking win, you know, help push women's boxing. And then afterwards, I'll look into doing something like that for sure. You know, I want to help people. It's always what I've always wanted to do. It's why I became a teacher, so I could help the youth, you know, and now just me having this platform, having this large platform, where I'm able to spread that positivity and hopefully inspire people as well, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Ebanie Bridges, appreciate you taking time out.
Thank you.
I know we're on different parts of the world, so it's always good to, you know, arrange a time and stuff like this.
Yeah.
For both. So, no, thanks for your time, and hopefully catch up when you're back in the UK, ideally on that lead card, and yeah,
hopefully
take it from there and see what happens. So yeah, thanks for talking to boxing. Appreciate your time.
All good. Thanks, mate. See ya.